Welcome back to the SI family. In today's video, we will be looking at patterns which are currently playing out in the crypto market and when you should consider and when you should not. You should be neglecting some of these patterns in scenarios where the long term supersedes the short term scenario. So first we'll look at this, when to look at for what, and then look at what's happening in this pattern. So right now, if you are looking at this, say this one is the long-term scenarios and this one is the short-term scenarios. So while keeping that in mind, say if it's bullish pattern playing out in long-term and on the short-term it's bearish, it's fine. Even if it breaks lower, it will still come back up because the long-term is bullish. Say for example, this is a pattern. If it's breaking to the downside, retesting that and going lower, but the macro pattern support is somewhere here, most likely it's going to hit that range and then bounce. So that's what you actually get in that scenario. Yes, short term you may move to the downside, but if you are an investor who is inside that asset for some time and your goals are higher, that's fine. Then if the long term is bearish and short term is bullish, you are taking the bullish short term, most likely your targets will not be met. It will go back down. Whereas if you get the long-term pattern as bullish and the short-term pattern as bullish, that is a great indicator for you to long. So if this particular pattern, which is a falling wedge, has a measured move, say for example this one, you take it from here and plot it here, your measured move is this, which is a short-term pattern showing you bullish stuff. Now inside this bullish market, if you are looking for the breakout, that's actually fine. It breaks higher, you retest and bounce. But if that happens inside a big long-term bullish pattern, another falling wedge, that's like, okay, from here you're going to bounce all the way up to this top. Now you're waiting for this one to break. So that's what you are looking at in most of the crypto assets right now. So if it's turning like a bearish long-term pattern and a bearish short-term pattern, you really want to go short or take out your position. So you are waiting for this structure to play out in the market. So how does the actual patterns look like? The pattern which you are looking at in the current market, it can be this one, this particular item. Now that is a short-term pattern which is showing you bullish nature and it's breaking higher, fine. So what you actually want, you need to go through this. Why? Because we went up in our wave 1, 3 impulsive microwave structure inside that one, and then we came to the downside. Now the correction for most of the crypto assets looks like this. Now some of them are different, but I'm talking about highly correlated assets. So you get this falling wedge here. Falling wedge usually breaks to the upside, and when you get this pattern short term inside a long term bullish pattern, that's pattern inside a pattern. Now imagine you are looking at different assets differently, you will definitely get different patterns. Say in one of them you actually have a pattern which definitely looks like this in the macro scale, but if you zoom in, you are able to actually get a falling wedge within that pattern. So most likely if you break higher, you are going to continue to the upside. So when you are trying to get onto a trade, you definitely want to make sure you enter in an area. If you are entering in a bullish pattern short term, you need to make sure that's macro bullish and your targets are higher, because if your targets macro is here and your short term pattern breakout happens to be here, you don't have much room to the upside. So you may enter and get some in green, but immediately the price may then go back lower because that is a bearish stuff happening in the macro, right? You are consolidating going down, and here you does this, go up and then come back down. So you don't want to be in that trade. You want to be in assets which are showing you bullish short term, bullish long term. That's what you are keeping your eyes on. If you liked this short session, please do hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done that. And if you want to look and learn from another short segment, you can look here, or else you are looking for the fundamental current affairs and TA analysis for different assets, you can look at this video.